love for traditional beadwork combined with a passion for creating unique, colorful, and eye-catching pieces led our guests on this episode of the program to entrepreneurship. Welcome to another impacting episode of From the Cradle on Television Nigeria. I am Sandra Guana. Sarah Chukwukere is a creative entrepreneur with a passion for designing handmade jewelries with modern African flair and has tapped into the market for affordable yet elegant custom jewelry, having customers who appreciate her fine beadwork and her creative eye for design. Join us as she tells us her story. Let's go. Madam, you are welcome on the program.
Thank you so much, Sandra.
So tell us more about
perfectly. You did it. In fact, if I were going to score you 10 over 10, you did it perfectly. You got the pronunciation.
All right. Please tell us more about yourself.
Well, my name is, like you said, my name is Sarah. I'm a jewelry artist.
Okay.
And I've been in the jewelry business for close to 6 years. Well, from scratch, 6 years. I'm married. I have a son. I originally studied psychology from University of Jos, then went into the diplomatic corps, worked there for a bit, but there was something missing.
What was that?
I think it was the fact that I've always been creative. Right from the first time I started earning money was in my GS1. I took all, then they used to give cards. Now everything is electronic, but we had a whole card store in my house, and I recycled the cards, or rather upcycled them, used them to make stickers, and I was selling them to my friends for 20 naira. Not 20 naira, 20 kobo. What am I saying? 20 kobo. And every day I used to make close to 1 naira 50 kobo, at least. At the end of the month, I was so rich that my mom had to open an account for me. So I've always been creative, and I think that was missing.
Okay.
The job was good. It had nothing to do with my co-workers. I had the best co-workers. They were supportive. But I just found myself stuck in the same place, doing the same thing over and over again, and I wanted a creative outlet to express myself. I wanted to be part of something original.
Something creative.
Yes, something that, it's almost like, I like saying this, it's almost like giving birth. From nothing, from nothing, you create something that is timeless and someone will use and appreciate and even tell you, oh, thank you, I love it. Okay. And you get paid for it too.
I was at the point to asking you, what exactly inspired you into entrepreneurship?
That was what inspired me to. I wanted to be able to create. That was. I got to let me be honest. I got to a point whereby I felt useless.
Okay.
All I was doing is going to work, collecting money, going to work, collecting money.
At the end of the month, you
collect money. There was nothing that there was something in me that I just felt, look, you should be able to create things that are, that people will use, people will appreciate, and that was what made me go into. I went into jewelry because I didn't have money. Because it has a low entry point. Unlike maybe tailoring, you have to buy a machine, buy a gen, go to tailoring school for how many years, or for a minimum of a year. But I didn't have that money then.
So you think that you didn't go through any training?
No, I went through a training, but I could do it from home on my dining table. I didn't need light.
Okay.
I didn't need lights. I didn't need. Of course, I went to local training and in the markets. That's where I started from. And then after that, I would go on the internet, research the styles that I learned, and see that the people in the market were only scratching the surface of those particular styles. And I would explore deeply into those styles, try to see how you can use one particular pattern to make 60 different patterns, 60 different variations of one pattern. And that was basically how everything, because of that, everything I made when I was learning, I sold. every single piece I made as a student. Because I would tweak it, explore it, go, spend hours and hours doing research.
So as a student, you were already a billionaire?
Yes, that was why I decided, okay, I'm going to do this as a business, because every single thing I made, I sold.
How has been the journey so far?
Well, up and down, just like any business. It's a continuous grind. You don't get to a point and say, oh, I've arrived, I'm not doing anything, let the customers come. No, you have to, especially if you are someone that aims for perfection. Okay? You have to keep at it. It has been good to me. I've paid my bills, I've employed people, I've mentored people, I also train, and the business has been good to me.
Okay, they say learning is a continuous process. Do you still go out there to go and learn more things to learn?
Oh, of course. Right now, I'm even learning how to metalsmith so that I can do everything from scratch. Right now, I buy components and assemble. So, but if I learn how to metalsmith, I can get raw brass that we have here in Nigeria, polish it, and use it to make everything I need to make. That's where I'm learning. That's where I am right now.
So where do you get your materials from? Where do you source your materials?
All over, locally here in Abuja. Sometimes I travel to Minna. Sometimes I go to Lagos. Sometimes I bring in from China if I have to do really big wholesale, because it's really cheaper for me. Because at the end of the day, I want to put a price point that people can afford. So because of that, I have to look for really quality buyers in China, to buy wholesale so that I can work with them.
So do you have any design that you are so attached? You attach specialty to it. I love this. I made this because this is where I got the inspiration from.
Yes, I actually have one. This is my original design.
Okay.
You won't find this anywhere. Well, they've started doing variations of it.
Okay.
But this design, I kept this. In fact, if you ask for this, I'll make another one.
Okay, you don't sell this?
I don't sell this. I kept this because it was the first one I did. It was done completely from waste material. I actually swept my shop and things on the floor.
Wow.
Was what I used in making this. Completely.
I'm already inspired.
Things on the floor. So, because at that point in time, I was kind of broke. I couldn't go to the market and buy stock and everything. As an entrepreneur, you go through all those kinds of phases. And so I said, you know what? I'm sure I can make something in the shop with what I have. And so I swept the shop. Found, of course, if you're a bidder, there are beads in every corner.
They're everywhere.
Everywhere. So I swear, everything. I just found that there's a piece of this here, there's a piece of this here, there's a piece of this here, and I made them together. And if I wasn't proactive, and if I wasn't in that situation whereby I didn't have money, I wouldn't have made this. Because I'd have just gone to the market, gone online, copied something, just laziness. But sometimes that challenge pushed me into creating this particular design, which I created 4 years ago. This design is 4 years old. Now you see variations of it everywhere. But at that point in time, I hadn't seen it. I looked. I said, I want to know if someone else has created something like this. And I really searched and I couldn't find it.
Okay, what about the competition in the market? What do you do separately from what other people have been doing so far?
We are 180 million people in Nigeria. In Abuja alone, I'm sure there are about 10 million. This industry, this bidding industry and whatever, I don't think we've even developed it up to 30%. So how can you say you have too much competition? What I feel I have around me is healthy competition.
Yes.
It's good for people to come around so that they can push you out of your comfort zone. Yes. But at the end of the day, it's about niche marketing. When I say niche marketing, there's a particular person that likes your kind of design. And that is the person I look for.
That will always come back.
Yes, the person that likes my design aesthetic. Someone else may do it in a different way, and that's someone else's client. But I have my own clients that say, no, if I know that Sarah will do it a particular way, and that's why I want Sarah to do it.
So what is that thing that you do to maintain your customers?
To maintain my customers, I found out that is customer service. Attention to detail and customer service. I noticed that in my own field, you see a mistake, you are doing a mistake, but because something, imagine you've reached here and you now find out there's a mistake here. You're like, oh, I'm too tired, please, let me just do it. You manage it like that.
You don't do that.
Losing and start again. That attention to detail is what keeps my customers.
So far, what are the challenges? What is that glass ceiling that you couldn't pass through because of one thing or another?
Well, the glass ceiling, I would say, is will I call it the Nigerian factor? Sort of. That you can't plan. Because one day you wake up and everything has changed. Like I said, I was supposed to go into metal smithing. I had planned, I needed the equipment I needed. It was supposed to be $1,500. I had gotten the money together, and I was waiting. Okay, I was waiting for something. Unfortunately, the dollar changed, and the price, the money I had quadrupled. So because of that, I had to wait a little more. I had to wait almost a year to get more money to add to buy things. So one day, it's because of the economy, this is X amount. In 3 months' time, the price has changed.
So how do you marry all this? Like, what do you do them yourself, or you have people that help out?
I started out doing them by myself, but right now I employ 3 people, and everything beaded is made here in the shop. Everything beaded, but we also have costume accessories that we import. For some certain clients like the metal finishing, and that's why I'm trying to learn the metal finishing so that I don't have to import.
Can you tell us what criteria do you use in giving your prices? Like if you want to charge for a particular design?
Well, it depends on the finishing and the materials. If I use sterling silver and freshwater pearls or gemstones, the prices go higher. If I'm using acrylic beads and maybe just brass or just gold-plated, the prices are lower. So at the end of the day, it depends on mainly 3 things: how expensive the materials are, the amount of time and effort put into that design. Because if I use 3 days to do a design, it's not going to be the same price for something I use 6 hours to make. So the amount of time you put into it and the trend. Because if a design is in trend, it's more expensive. Automatically, it's more expensive because the materials will even be more expensive.
We're going on a short break, and when we return, Mrs. Sarah will tell us more about her entrepreneurship journey. We'll be right back shortly. You're welcome back. We'll be talking to Mrs. Sarah Chukwukere, who is a designer. She has done so well for herself, and she'll be telling us what we need to do as women to encourage ourselves, to inspire other women to stand up and know that they are not the head of the family, but then they are the neck of the family. If the neck does not move, there is no way the head will go anywhere. Give us some insight on how to advise other women to start their entrepreneurship journey as you did.
Something a mentor of mine told me, and I found it to be very true. Because speaking to other women, because I join women's groups a lot, I'm part of a lot of women's groups. No matter how rich your husband is, if you cannot turn 1,000 into 2,000, he will never respect you. Or, let me rephrase, he will never give you the respect you deserve. He might respect you to a certain level, but there's a certain feeling of you are a human being by yourself and you can stand on your own 2 feet and carry your own. That feeling is, in fact, I can't describe it to you till you start earning your money, for those who aren't. And how much you have, like I said, I started this business from my dining table with 30,000. It doesn't matter how much you have. I went for a Live Your Dream conference several weeks ago, and Dr. Obi Ezekwesili said something. He said, right now is the time for Africa, because never in the history of man has knowledge and education been so readily available for anybody to access it. So we don't have any excuse anymore. Oh no, I don't have money to pay for video learning. Go on YouTube. In fact, the first piece I ever made, I hadn't learned beading then. Someone saw me wearing a pearl necklace and said, oh, I really like this. I wish I could get something like this. But I know that it's only Marks and Spencer's. I said, I can make it for you. I never made anything. So really, are you sure? I said, yes. She said, okay. How much will it cost? I said, it depends. If you want really expensive, a really expensive version, 20,000, or a cheap version, 5,000. She now said, okay, let me do the cheap version first. If I like it, I'll do the expensive version. And she gave me the 5,000. And I hit YouTube.
Yes.
Watched YouTube videos for 3-4 hours. Got it, wrote down the things I need, entered Wuse Markets. Say, please, where is the beading store? Where do I need to get this? When I even got there, the people selling will even help you. I showed them the picture. I want to make this. What do I need? They showed me the pearls. You can get this, or you can get this, you can get this. These are your choices. And I bought everything. Went back, put the video on again, strong, and I made it. Finished it, called her. She looked at me, she said, I thought you were joking. In fact, I just gave you this 5,000 like, if anything happens, I can't even, if this 5,000 goes, at least I won't cry too much. She said, I thought you were joking. And she brought her the 20,000 and gave me. She said, please do me. She said, I should do freshwater pearls for her, that she doesn't wear cheap pearls. Immediately on the spot. And that was how I started.
Say a network of women. Some women do believe that when women gather together, the only thing they do is gossiping. So a network of women that you are talking about, how will you know that you are in the midst of the right?
First of all, it's not just a group of women sitting down. They're usually registered. There is a new, there is the Sisters Network. If you go online, you'll find all these networking organizations that you can join and meet people that have been doing this business a long time before you. It was before that. Right now it's more of, we're in a collaboration era. It's not competition, it's collaboration. Like me, I'm looking for who I will collaborate with to move
I
forward.
want to come and collaborate.
To move forward. I don't feel I'm competing. Even if we're competing, there's healthy competition that makes me sit up like, okay, this person has their game on. I need to, yes, I need to bring my A game to this thing because this person has moved past my level. And it should spoil you. It shouldn't make you scorn the person.
I need to collaborate with you.
It shouldn't make you scorn the person. So yeah, my Jewel network, I train people, I mentor them on accounting, bookkeeping, networking, marketing, and all those things that are the backbone of a business.
Okay.
This is just the lights and camera action.
Yes.
But the backbone are things like your accounting, your bookkeeping, your networking, your marketing, all those things.
So how do you put that into place? Your marketing, your booking, your...
Day by day. Day by day. You have to learn how to manage your time as an entrepreneur. They say you're like an octopus with 8 you're the one doing everything. So it's actually easier when you have systems.
Okay.
Like my bookkeeping, I just enter in what I sold and what I bought, and it automatically is an app. It will do my profit and loss, it will do my cash flow, it will do everything. I don't have to sit down and think about all those things. There are too many things to think about.
Okay, as a wife and mother, how do you put this together? How do you manage your home front and your business?
Well, in that particular aspect, I think I'm lucky because I have a very supportive husband.
Wow.
One, because you have to have the support from your home to move forward. If you don't have the support from your home, it will suffer.
Your business will suffer.
Either your business will suffer or your home will suffer. One usually suffers if you don't have the support from your home. And I find that just, men are logical. And the problem with we women, we are emotional. So when you want to bring a conversation to a man, you bring it from the emotional point of view. I'm your wife. So why you mixing things? This is business. Why are you bringing emotions into it? If more women go and meet their husbands with a logical business proposal written down, like I tell the girls in my mentoring group, there's no 1 naira I have collected. There's no single penny I've collected from my husband for my business that I haven't returned back.
Business is business.
Business is business.
Romance
if he wants,
is romance.
yes, if he wants to, pamper me, give me money for myself, I will collect it. But when it comes to, please, I need to borrow X amount for my business, I have returned back every penny I ever borrowed from him rather. And so, my business as an entity, he doesn't even put his mouth like, one day he has never one day said, it's your business, safe. Let's hear word. Because you find men saying that when you borrowed 2 million this year, next year you come and say, babe, give me another 500. You're not returning back anything. It looks like a toilet where they are flushing money down. So he will not respect your business.
Yeah, I wanted to even ask you something before we go. There's no business without debt. Sometimes when you're doing business, people always come that please, I need to go somewhere like this and I need a bid, I need something. How do you manage to put your monies together?
Okay, first of all, for me it's about liability.
Okay.
When I say liability, I will not give you any product on complete credit. That if I lose that money, my business will suffer. I won't do it.
Okay.
That's my own personal policy. Now, when I've established a rapport with a customer, yes, I give credit to that customer. I can give you 2 weeks or 30 days to pay me. But usually, there are certain customers I give that. One, you must work. I don't give housewives credit.
Okay.
Because I believe if you don't work, you should cut your coat according to your cloth.
Yes.
Spend what is in your pocket. Because the first thing I tell you when you come here, what's your budget? If you are looking at this one of 50,000, 30,000, I say, madam, please, what's your budget first? Tell me your budget, and I'll show you the items that you can afford. Because I don't give credit, except the person works and the person has a history with me.
And you have a rapport,
Yes. And the person is a known customer. that is the only time I give credit to people. So at the end of the day, it depends on the policy you set for yourself. And I find that it works for me. I may not be so rich all the time, but then again, I'm not chasing people. Hey, pay me my money. Please, look, you have to pay my money by the end of this month. I'm not doing that. I'm an artist at heart. I want to use that time to focus on creating, not pursuing debt.
That's very interesting.
Yes.
And please, before we go, please tell us, apart from business, what do you do with your leisure time?
Oh wow. What do I do in my leisure time? I love to swim.
Wow.
I love to swim. It's a very good family activity. Just take my son and my husband and go to the pool. That's my main hobby. I used to dance salsa before, but I don't anymore.
Before you got married, or
well, even when I got married. But now that I have kids, it's difficult because the timing for when they have salsa is in the night, 8 o'clock. You know, look, I'm thinking about putting my son to bed. That is one step at a time. It's fun, and I love music. So, and if you can dance African dance, salsa it's not far from our African dance compared to the white dance. But now it's mainly swimming. Mainly, I love to swim.
thank you so much for having us. Meanwhile, you have to still show us around.
Definitely.
I need you to show us around. Just show us yourself when you explain to us.
Okay, I just want to give you a sneak peek of the back of how things are done.
Alright.
Okay, so usually people think that jewelry is so complicated. It can be simple. All you need to do is just, practice a little, so you have your skill.
She has done so much for herself. You, a woman right now watching, what are you waiting for? Go out there and be relevant to yourself and to the people around you. You can watch this episode and the past ones on our YouTube channel showing on your screen right now. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I am Sandra Guana on Television Nigeria.